And John Hernandez and Joy Rose in the paddock before race 5. And don't forget, race 6 starts our 3 races of the Iowa Festival of Racing, second day. And Joy, we have Jerry Crawford of Donegal Racing and Patio Prado with us.
That's exactly right. Jerry, how does it feel to have the support of the entire state behind you, cheering on Patio Prado every step of the way, including the Kentucky Derby?
Well, it was really a warm feeling to see the way the state adopted Patty as their own horse. We were thrilled that they did that. I can't tell you what it felt like to have people calling, writing, emailing, and the state thinks they own Patty, and that's just fine with us.
Now, speaking of Patio Prado, you were at the Keeneland yearling sale. We first laid eyes on him and wrote the check for $150,000. What was it about him that made him so special?
Actually, it was $105,000. I'm glad to say there's $45,000 saved right there. You know, Dale Romans works the sales with us. We have a really good team put together, and he works the sales, and Dale does a very nice job of looking at a horse, not to see what it looks like as a yearling, but what it might look like as a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old. And he thought the horse had significant potential, and turns out he was right.
Very much so.
Last out, Patio Prado won the Colonial Turf Cup. What's next?
Patty will run in the Virginia Derby on July 17th at Colonial Downs. It's a Grade 2 $600,000 race. As impressive as he was in winning the Colonial Cup, I think we didn't get anywhere close to the bottom of him, and I think he'll be, as long as he stays sound, and he's a very sound horse, I think he'll be plenty tough in the Virginia Derby.
Okay, speaking of derbies, Donegal Racing sends out Vow to Wager in the Iowa Derby tonight. Tell us about Vow to Wager.
He's been a pleasant surprise. Back on the topic of our trainer Dale Romans, I'd sort of started to give up on this colt, and he kept saying, no, be patient, he's going to come around. And he won a maiden race at Turfway Park earlier this year, which is, you know, nothing to write home about, generally speaking. And then he got the Battaglia Stakes, and we put him in the Lane's End, and, you know, he was just a win away from being in the Kentucky Derby himself. He's in very deep tonight. These are some tremendous horses. We'd love to see him hit the board. Anything beyond that would be an unanticipated bonus. But we're glad to have him here. It's fun to race at Prairie Meadows after the way people responded to Patio Prado.
And Joy, they called it the Derby Dreams Partnership. So first there was the Kentucky Derby and the Iowa Derby tonight and the Virginia Derby. So all kinds of derbies factor into this.
I think someone has Derby fever, if I must say so myself.
Oh, let me just tell you, we had it bad. But my favorite story is that one of our partners who'd never had any involvement in horse racing, George Cataldo, who's here tonight, he said, why do people keep saying how surprising this is that we made it into the Kentucky Derby our first year? After all, that was what we were trying to do. So some people are going to learn these lessons the hard way, I think.
Well, you're a great fan of the sport, and it's just so great to see you have so much success, and we wish you much success in the future as well.
Thanks very much, Joy. We're glad to be here.
Okay, we've got handicapping to do. Race 5 coming up, 6 furlongs, beaten claimers, $5,000 level, 3 and up. Joy, start us off.
All right, I like Cyclone on the Oasis. Christina Kennedy has the call on this Ray Tracy trainee. Now, this is a 4-year-old gelding who so far this year is 3 for 5 in the money. In fact, coming off a nice win over the local oval by 3 1/4 lengths with a 75 buyer speed figure. That was against $7,500 claiming company. Should have no problem at this level. Cyclone on the Oasis right now showing us 4-1 in my top selection.
Okay, I'm definitely using Cyclone on the Oasis as one of my exotic horses, but my top play is number 1, Blue Caracol, beaten favorite in the last 2 starts here at Prairie Meadows for owner-trainer Chris Hartman, but this veteran has won almost half his lifetime starts, should go fine from the inside under Alfredo Juarez. So for me, Joy, after the scratches of 3, 7, 11, I'm going to go 1, 10, 5, and 4. How about you?
I like the 4 as well. Good ride. I like how he's been spacing his outs, now coming off 17 days, so we'll see how he handles coming off that 17 days. Good ride right now showing us 17-1, but rounding out my super, I have the 8-horse Bold Fury, stays at the same price to find another on the board finish. We'll see if he can get it done.
Very good. Joy and I will be with you for all 3 of the stakes races. Enjoy the 5th. Back at you for the 6th.
Good luck, guys.